maybe going back and forth to prison to sin, having these type of arguments, mad at them. And when, if you don't get your life right, I'm turning my back on you. And maybe have. But it helped them also realize, too, that none of us is perfect. And that we must continue to love them through their trials and their struggles and their wrongs, in hopes that one day they're touched in such a way that they're willing to turn their life around, like Oscar. Because Oscar actually did turn his life around. Our last conversation was during Thanksgiving dinner. It was very deep. And I was like very proud of him. You know, he had already been showing a lot of love for his daughter, doing the right things, working, having to struggle as a young black man. But the reality of it was that there had been a new maturing that had taken place. And we expected great things from him because he was really a great person. I wish my mother was here to tell you the story. The white girl they called up, he called for to do the fish fry. I remember when my mother said, your nephew Oscar called me about teaching some white girl how to fry fish. And that was in a movie. You know what I'm saying? That happened. And so, it was just lesson learned for all of us. Oh, yes.
Okay, so in watching the movie, I struggled with, the part where I saw the officer who thought it was a taser, but it was really a gun.
Right.
And I saw the part with the officer that had been kind of inciting the kids, like really.
Tony Peroni.
Yes, like really, okay. And then the guy gets involuntary manslaughter, right?
Right.
He didn't serve that much time for me for taking somebody's life. And even though we go through all this and we go to these meetings and we sign petitions, it's like, how do we get past getting these people to pay for what they did? How do we get past that it is not okay to kill somebody and you get time out? You get set in the corner for a little while and a family has lost their son, their nephew. How do we get past that? That's where I'm at.
Right. I'm gonna answer that. So I've been speaking a lot lately, and I got only a few cards left. Part of the start is also here. Let me see if I got more. Anyway, when I'm passing out, I thought I had more. I'm sorry. What it is, there is an application called Mobile Justice. Right, and this is I see heads nodding, you know about it, Mobile Justice. You download this application, and it's an application that was basically brought into existence by the ACLU. And it allows us the ability to capture data or video from an act of a police officer where it's downloaded automatically to a database. So if the officer takes your phone and decides that this is not going to work, and smash it, it's already in the database. Okay, and so therefore, all you have to do is make the call that you was the one that sent it, then you could get more details. But this application allows you to anonymously or state who you are about what you just witnessed, in case this needs to be used or gotten to the family. Because we're clear, had it not been for commuters like yourselves that felt alarmed and appalled at what you were witnessing when Oscar was being murdered on that platform, we would not know who Oscar Grant is today had it not been for you video recording. So it's real important that I always share that type of, we might have it, great. That I always share Mobile Justice with my audience so that they can download it and have it on their phones, because how do we stop it? First of all, we all got to become our brother's keeper. Anytime, especially if you're white and you happen to see a young black man being accosted by the police, every young black man accosted by the police is not no criminal or someone that justly is being stopped. And we're clear that there's a lot of biased policing going on. Now, this is so that you'll be clear about this. This is it's not an indictment on all police officers. We know there's some that are good, but there's a culture that is in place that doesn't allow us to truly cross over on the other side. It's a very thin line. So officers really protect each other. So if one officer see another officer doing something that he shouldn't be doing, it's not likely he's just gonna go, you know.
Snitch.
Yeah, snitch. And so my issue is, if you do not stop the bad officers that's giving a reflection that you all look bad, then you become just as culpable, right? And the same applies to us. If we do not take a stand when we witnessing racism or some improprieties that are taking place that we know is blatantly wrong, and we don't speak on that issue, we're just as culpable, right? So we have a responsibility to one another in this world to become our brother's keeper. We all have a right to life. We all have a right to justice. We all have a right to freedom and equality. You know, and any time we witnessing that not happening or being applied in a fair way, and we just turn a blind eye, then we just as bad as that bad cop. We have a responsibility, yes.
Do you have recommendations for how to intervene in a situation like that besides video recording? Like, do you recommend physical ways?
No.
You mean
No.
Like,
No.
standing closer or something. Like, I don't know.
What was that last piece?
Like standing closer to the situation or like,
No. My advice, anytime you see a police officer doing something that you might think is wrong, get back. Stand at a safe distance. Do not call yourself interjecting unless you really feel you have to. So that means that you may also become not just a victim of real tremendous harm, but you may also become a victim of incarceration because you acted in good faith to do the right thing. Yes.
Oh, I just wanted to share though, even in that though, really, because you are white and a white person, you could probably stand right next to the police officer while he's doing something. He is not gonna bother you. We can't do that. So what is for us is not for you. If you go and watch videos, there are so many cases where someone that was white had a gun, they was rolling the gun and they never killed them. Or I've seen white women hit police officers. I've seen white guys hit police officers and they live. So there's just different things. So you can stay at a safe distance, right? Where I just wanted to bring that point so we could be real clear of what kind of society we live in. And this is something that we live in every day. We sometimes can't even raise our voice. That was death for us. So we just want to be clear about that.
Oh, question.
For people who feel overwhelmed or depressed or kind of scared to do something, what advice could you give someone to like kind of motivate them to continue on and not feel too overwhelmed?
Right. So I'm gonna answer your question and then more directly in a minute. So for families that are impacted, right, there's much trauma and mental health issues that takes place, not just with the mother or the father or the immediate sisters and brothers, but even those that witness it, like yourself, right? You're just like, damn, not another one, you know, and now you're going through it, and it's really traumatizing to many of us. So, for example, we have on June 15th a United Families for Justice Network gathering that's taking place at Wayne State University on June 15th. And there's a conference there that's called Ally Media Conference, but within that conference, we're having a conference that is specifically family-led. And we've partnered with public health officials and mental health practitioners in regards to how to get better self-care for ourselves. You know, how to get out the bed the very next day when you're just so troubled. Or for me, how to not get so angry when I witness a 7-year-old like Aiyana Jones be murdered by the police, who we know could not have hurt him, and go off in a way that will take me away from doing what God has put in my heart to do today, and that is to bring clarity and to do what I can so that people can understand that this is a reality in this world and that we all got to work together to change it. Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh, answer. Okay. Sorry. Your question was mental health, right?
Right.
Like for yourself, you know, you're going through it. Yeah, I mean, this could pertain to any of us and all of us, you know, because I go through this a lot, right? Because every time another young man is murdered and I witness it, especially on video, I get angry. You know, and I'm gonna share this before I get into that. But for those that just say it over and over and over, what can you do for better self-care? I mean, everybody's different, so I can't give anything specific. But we go to a comedy show. My wife will make sure we dance a little bit. You know what I'm saying? To refocus. Yes, doctor. Yeah, you can help me.
I wanted to share that, you know, really, mental health care is something that's important. And I'll say this, in the black and brown community, it's such a stigma on it. But I can assure you that our counterparts are Caucasian. You go to therapists, right? You got a hard time? You don't have a problem going to a therapist, do you? No, you don't. You know, and this is how we have to talk to our people, because it's such a stigma in our community that really, we've been traumatized for 461 plus years. Some people go to a therapist because they lose a husband that's still alive or with a younger woman. You see what I'm saying? I've been traumatized for 461 years and plus, and it continues. So how much mental health care do we need in our community? That never comes up, because we're supposed to suffer all that and then don't have no issues when you put a liquor store on every corner in our community. What are we gonna do? Wake up and say, oh, I'm black today, the world hates me, let me go get something to drink, or I'm gonna get out there and fight this fight we've been fighting since we got here. So until we start talking about this so we can recover, because we need to recover. We need to recover. We are mentally destroyed from being here 461 years under oppression. So we have to talk about this so we can start getting the help necessary. Because when they're giving these funds out, how much funding go for mental health care in our community? And so you're right, because it's traumatizing. Our children are traumatized because the bottom line with this police terrorism is that no one's ever held accountable. Just imagine, that leaves you helpless, right? You know, something just keeps being done and nobody's ever held accountable. That's pretty sad, it's pretty pathetic, and you can expect a whole bunch of trauma behind that. At some point, something's going to give. That's all I'm saying.
I hope that helped.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you, babe. So,